What up everybody, True Tech here again with another Bushin Ryu tip, and today we're going to be talking about safe jumps. Now I made a video about safe jumps a little while back, but we are now 3 patches in and we definitely have some changes with the newest patch. So I want to go over safe jumps for ones that were, I guess, mainly discovered in Season 2 because of some of the changes that may not be very well known, and then just some of the adjustments you have to make for the corner safe jumps due to some of the changes in this newest patch. So let's get into it so that you stay safe and keep the pressure on. Alright, so we're going to first talk about mid-screen safe jumps. There's really only a couple. There's some gimmicky ones, and I might mention one of them here, but in general there's really only 2 real ones that you use. Now unfortunately they both take meter. We're going to go into this first one here, which honestly you don't see used too often because you might as well use 2 bars if you're going to use one, but you know, it does have its uses, so we'll talk about that one. Alright, so as you see there, 42. Just like in life, shout out to my nerds out there, the answer is always 42. If you get a 42 frame knockdown, you have a auto time safe jump. And that is one of the things you want to always have. So, 42 is what you want to see there. 43 is 2+. Your move will actually whiff, and typically you have there, and we'll talk about that later. But 42. So you can see here, this one is a little bit different. It takes a little bit of practice. I actually don't use it too often, so it actually took me a few tries to land it here, but you're not going to see that because I edited that shit out. But it's a drive rush crouching jab, and then you link the run slide. You do not cancel until this. You're not doing this. You're pausing, then hitting it. You're linking it. And with that, you get a 42 frame knockdown. And what you're going to want to do is use jump medium kick. Because mid-screen safe jumps, for the most part, if they recover in place, they're going to cross up. So if you jump roundhouse or jump fierce, you're actually going to go over them and not hit them at all. So you want to use jump medium kick for these medium here. And then I'm going to go ahead and show the one that I use the most. And then we'll actually turn on Ryu so you can see how it works. So that's it right there. It's literally it. You're gonna see this one more often, or at least me personally, I use it more often. If I don't want to use more resources to get them to the corner, or I feel like I can't get them to the corner, or I want to just be safe because I don't want to risk Oki versus someone maybe is gonna kill me if they super or DP. This is one here, and it's very simple. Literally, you just do your. Like you see, 42 frames. So it's the up kicks with crouching jab, and at that you're 42 frames, and you're gonna again use jump medium kick here. And like I said, as you see from this, we're gonna go into the different options. So if you recover backwards, you're gonna stay in front. Make them recover in place. And you'll see you can cross them up. Really good to know, especially in that case, because I have had that cross up occasionally save my and get a comeback with that because they didn't know about the cross up there. And if nothing else, depending on where you're at in the game, you can either, if you know they like to recover in place a lot, you can sneak in and take the corner back with that. So it's really good there. And again, just a 2-bar safe jump. So if you're gonna, let's say you get a punish counter and you want to, you know, maximize it, but again, you want to stay safe. You can't risk them waking up with a DP, waking up with a super. That's your options mid-screen. So in the corner, there are a few setups that she has, and we're going to talk about them and some of the changes that have been made in order for them to work. So first, we're going to talk about one of our faves, our meterless safe jump. I think this might be our only meterless safe jump that isn't like off of a niche situation. Like there's probably some bomb follow-ups where I've had that I can make it a safe jump, but honestly it's hard to get it consistent or something like that. This one works every time. And we get our magic It's 42 frames, so this is going to be your go-to, and this works with any Tatsu. So whatever button you feel comfortable using, based on maybe your finger placement or whatever. Maybe you want to use your thumb, maybe you want to use your, but it's all the same damage and it's all the same. You know, everything's the exact same. So whatever you use, light, medium, heavy Tatsu, but you're just gonna do it. And with that, I just want to mention you don't have to like TK. You're not doing this. You don't have like here. You're jumping with it and just doing instant Tatsu is what we call it, because you're doing the Tatsu as soon as you can once you jump. But you're not doing the TK. I mean, you can, but really you're just going up forward, and then as soon as you jump, do the Tatsu. And honestly, with just a little bit of practice, it's very easy. As very consistent, and again, that magic 42 frames, and this will beat any reversal except powered up Lily, because she has a 4-frame DP. But hey, we got some changes that should work with that, and it's one of those things we'll need to work on in lab here. But one of our changes with OD Arc Step. Alright, so before we get into OD Arc Step, I've decided that we're going to talk about this next one because it's consistent and easy. We don't have to worry about adjustments. And that is with, again, with EX Auna, with those changes that we got in Season 2, being able to combo to EX Auna. We're seeing this a lot more, so that's why we didn't know about these stages before, because before, if you got an EX Auna, you were just going for damage. You weren't necessarily going for setup. But now, we get that all the time, right? So, again, the same one we talked about earlier. Now, why am I talking about this one separately from OD Arc Step? Well, because OD Arc Step has a change now, and it's 43 frames as opposed to 42, so there's a little bit of adjustment you have to do. But that forward roundhouse jump heavy, there is no adjustment at all needed for the EX Auna, so it's still the exact same, and we're at that 42, where again, if they DP or super or whatever, and you jump in, you will just block. Now, we're going to talk about here. The next one is the OD Arc Step stuff. Alright, with the OD or EX Arc Step, whatever you want to call it, I'm old school, I tend to call it EX. There's been a change. So everything has been adjusted to be a little bit faster, and so that helps us with some stuff like this. So before, this used to be a 29 frame knockdown, which meant you had to adjust your Oki or you had to adjust your combo. Now, this does more damage in the corner anyway, so you would know it's okay. But the problem was that if you were like maybe say out here and you hit them, and you weren't going to hit the corner, and you went into Arc Step, you had a 29 frame knockdown. So again, you have to adjust your Oki for what you could get here. But now with 30 frame, you can do your same Oki here. So hey, that's great. But what does that do for us here? This is 43 frames. Now, this used to be a 42 frame safe jump setup, which also led into her instant overhead fuzzy setup, which we're going to talk about that in another video and why I think you should still be using that. And now, because of that, you have to make some adjustments. Now, there's a couple things you can do. Alright, so you can delay your arc step by a frame. It is possible, and honestly with some practice you can do it. Personally, for me, in the heat of a match, I don't trust myself in delaying that particular thing, but it is possible. So let's see if we can get it real quick. Oh. I think that might be it. 42 frames. So I was able to do it on the second try. And again, with some practice, you too can do it. If you're a person who's a bit more calmer than me and is in a hit confirmed situation, then that might be your go-to, because of course you are giving up some damage if you do this other way, which is you don't use the target combo. You just go button into the EX Arc Step. So this, and see, I'm trying to delay it. I delayed too much and I missed the cancel window. Let's see, is that 43? Yeah, it's 43 still. I think that's it. Alright, so that was it. And also shout out to you again, if you can kind of tell, it hits just ever so slightly lower. And you can kind of tell, But again, in that situation on a hit confirm, I don't want to risk that, especially if I need that safe jump. Let's say I only got a little bit of life left. I cannot afford to miss time, and they're gonna wake up with a super. I gotta have that, right? I can't lose based on one frame. So the way to get around that is to just so you see that here. So you are losing damage, but you easily get the 42 frames. So we're at 2025, 1827. So yeah, you're losing about almost 200 damage in that situation, but it is what it is, and you may have to sacrifice that in order to keep yourself safe. But with that, let's go into the actual safe jump setup. So as you can see here, 42 frames. So this is a safe jump can setup, and again, reload and can are the same frames. So if you want a safe can but you want to still keep some pressure, this is a good one. If you just need to, again, you hit them to the corner, you want to keep yourself safe, this is still a good one. And you can also, again, set up the fuzzy. Alright, so with that last one, you have to give up a little bit of damage if you want to be consistent, or you have to really get in there and learn your 1 frame delay timing. With this one, there is a 1 frame delay timing, but it's a lot easier, and I think this is reliable. So we're going to show it off an arc step again, and see here. Now again, it's 43 frame normally if you just do this. This used to be 42, but now we're at 43 because of the arc step changes. But you can delay the follow-up a little bit, and I find that to be a lot more consistent. You can just step forward, or like a little micro step, and then forward roundhouse, and get your 42 frames. Let's see if we can get it first try. Nope, I didn't step forward. That looked right. And there you go. So that's 42 frames. And honestly, you can just sit here and drill that. So if I... That looked like a little too much. So you see here, I just did it a bunch of times in a row, and you can get in there and drill that. And once you get learn to just take that little step forward and then forward roundhouse, it's actually really consistent. You can get that. So it's still there, and I still think you should use that in that type of situation. But I'll be quite honest with you, typically if I want a safe jump, I'm not going into that that particular confirm. Usually that's because I want a can. But if you just happen to hit that, you want it to corner, and now you want a safe jump because again you try to keep yourself safe, it is still there. And you still have that option. This safe jump is a little bit more involved, but we'll talk about it here because again, and it's off my go-to. So when I do slide in a can, my go-to strike option is crouch strong, stand strong. If you hit, you can automatically go into light Megabond. If it doesn't hit, you can do run overhead, you can do run stop throw. It has some different options, and I like it for that reason. So if there is a safe jump off of it, it's fairly simple, and I'm just going to quickly show it here. And as you can see there, it's 42 frames, 2903, so decent damage off of that, and then you get a safe jump. Alright, so with that, that is going to be our safe jump video, our updated safe jump video today. I hope this helps out everybody. If there's some other safe jumps that are more consistent, not the niche stuff where you like get it off a can setup that only you do with spacing and everything, says the guy who has one of those. You know, of course share those because those could be good. But in general, if there's any other consistent ones that you can set up every single time that are easy without any manual time stuff outside of that 1 frame delay, definitely let me know. We could do an updated video in the future. But for now, definitely learn these safe jumps. I know there's going to be a lot more Kimberly players, maybe people coming back to Kimberly after these buffs, and she's now being a real character. Don't let them fool you. She's definitely not top 5. She's not top anything, but she's a real character. She's probably a solid mid tier, and I appreciate that, having a real character with block strings that I can end safely after 2 years. So shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to the Kimberly players, old and new, and be on the lookout for the next video. As always, you know, like, sub, share. I'm on Blue Sky if you care about me as a person. Twitter is going to be Street Fighter Tech only because, I mean, you guys are still out there, so what can you do? And be on the lookout for more Twitch streams coming forward here as my work schedule changes, and of course I make more videos as well. So I appreciate all of you. Peace.